Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. I'm Justin. If you don't know, we moved out here from the city. I was a chef for 35 years. Amy has had a job in the city. We wanted to get out of the rat race and all the people and wanted to come out here. My dream was always being a chef, was to come out and do farm to table and be able to grow my own vegetables and learn the stuff on the farm that in behind the scenes in a restaurant that you don't get to see. So we came out here, we bought some land, and we've been working on it now for about 3.5 years, and we have come a long way. If you want to, you can watch prior videos and see how far we really have come. I will say this, I work harder now than I ever did before, but I work for love and a passion. A lot less stress than the restaurant business. But I will say this, it's probably the best thing I could have ever done. I probably added on another 10, 15 years to my life expectancy. Because I'm not being all stressed out. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be planting an heirloom tomato. Now me and Amy had went to a Amish town, or almost a little Amish country here in Tennessee, and we stopped by one of the houses and they had tomatoes for sale, and we went there and we bought some tomatoes. Or tomatoes I've never seen before, and we bring them home, and I said, let's try, it's lunchtime, let's try to make a tomato sandwich out of these, test it, see how it is. The best friggin' tomato sandwich I ever had in my life. And I'll tell you what, these beat out beefsteaks by a mile. So if you get a chance, get you some of these. I'll give you the names through the video, and try them out because they're fantastic. Now, I do want to say this. It took me a while to find these seeds for these tomatoes. And when I did find them, the company that I bought them from, Amy will give you a little info at the end of the video of where we got them from. And they are not giving us any perks for talking about it or anything. They're just really hard to find. Now the ones I was able to find are 99.9% heirloom tomatoes. Now these tomatoes are off the chain. They grow. The average size of the tomato is 1+ pounds per tomato. 1+ pound per tomato. I mean, the ones we got, they were about that big. They were pretty decent sized tomatoes. Put it this way, bigger than my hand, that's a big tomato. Now, I was able to find them, and I said, well, this year when we get the beds done, and as you guys can see, we got all of our beds done and filled up. If you want to watch that, Amy will post a video up here or over there. Somewhere she'll post it, so you'll be able to watch it. So today I'm planting tomatoes. Now, I'm not saying this is going to work in your neck of the woods, but it works for me, and I am a tomato lover. I love growing tomatoes. Tomatoes are a big thing to me. If I had anything to grow in a garden, I'd grow tomatoes. I love tomatoes. I mean, they're unbelievable what you can do with them, and it ain't no little Italian in me that just loves tomatoes. But so what I wanted to talk to you guys about today was about the tomato plant. Now, you'll see all these things where electroculture and all this other stuff to grow, and we're going to test some of that stuff out and see if it's true or not. I mean, you do your thing. Basically, you do your thing. Also, I think that with tomatoes, is in the area you're in and how you do it. I mean, you have to do your research. Look this stuff up. Find a farm in your area that's growing tomatoes and ask that farmer. Pick his brain, because he's going to tell you what works in your area, and he can be able to tell you what to do and what not to do. Luckily, we have a bunch of farmers around us. They grow everything from soybeans to corn to you name it, they grow it here. So, and we're in southwest Tennessee. So, and we're kind of up on a plateau of the beginning of the Appalachian Mountains as it goes up. And being up here is a little bit diversified than being down below. And I was told that was might be an issue for us, because we are a lot higher than the farms down below us, because we're actually up on the top of a ridge. Now, that means we're a little bit closer to the sun than they are down there. That means that our weather is a little bit different. That means we have windier days, but I'm going to show you how we stop that wind. And let's just get planting some tomatoes. So, these are the tomatoes we grew. We did these ourselves. They're perfectly fine. We reuse these containers. Anybody we know buys these things, we ask them to save them. These are some of the best to plant in. We bought these off of Amazon. Not so good. They don't give a really high enough root base. You see a root starting to pack underneath right here. These aren't that great. We aren't going to use these anymore, actually. I think she's going to use these strictly for starter flower starters, and that's it. But these are the ones you want to get. Luckily, we had about, I don't know, 5-6 dozen of these, so we used a lot of them for tomato plants. As you'll be able to see, I don't know if you can see it, but you see these little hairs on this tomato. Little hairs here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to pull these leaves off, right? You can pull these leaves off right here. Get rid of them. And don't lay your tomatoes on their side. That is. You want to know where I learned how to plant my tomatoes in the ground from? From a little Italian woman from Sicily. She's the one who taught me how to plant these tomatoes. And she had always told me, don't ever plant tomatoes on the side. No, 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 you don't plant like that, she says. And I would laugh about it because I thought it was pretty funny. But she was right. She was definitely right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through, we're going to show you how we plant our tomatoes. You don't have to do this, but this might be a little help to you. These are pretty decent younglings. And trust me, they will grow up to as much as 8 foot tall. They'll get as much as 8 foot tall. We are planting them in a raised bed, so you'll have that. So let's get started on this and so you guys can check it out. All right, guys, so I have marked where I wanted the tomato plants at. We're going to start, probably, let's say right here would be the best tomato plant to dig first. All right, so we're going to dig down on an average of 4 inches. 4 inches we're going to dig down. Now what you're going to want to do to make sure, you want to plant right up to there. So if you can see it, plant right up to where my finger's at, right there. So we're going to put this in there, and you're going to say, okay, I need to go a little deeper. So we'll get this out. So we just had a good rainstorm. You know, I want this bigger than the tomato plant. I want to be able to root it out real well. And we're about there. So I'll throw a little bit back in there. And then what I'm going to do is I use this for my tomatoes. Now you're going to add about three teaspoons. I just get a tablespoon like this, and I just add 2. There's 1, and here's 2. All right. So we have those 2. And then we're going to grab the plant that we're measuring for, which is right here. Amy makes all these markers for the plants, so we know what we have there. And then we're going to take the back, see the root system around it. It's got a really nice root system growing to it already. And then we're going to fill this in. Real simple, real basic. You don't have to put any water because this soil is already wet. And the plant will live off of what I've put down so far. So now I'm going to pack it a little. That's going to bring that seedling down some more. And we're going to put some more underneath the plant. Like so. So you kind of get the idea of how to plant a tomato plant. Now, like I said, don't forget if you have some, see these have been in the greenhouse a little too long, so I'll get rid of that. I'll get rid of this stuff on this side, and then I'll dig down. I got a marker right here to dig down. Measure. Yeah, we're right about there. So we'll take these, and I save these. I use these over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, why? You know, and if you don't have any of these, you know what else you can do? You can take even a drill with a small little bit, take some solo cups, drill some holes in them like this, and that way you have a drainage for you, and then you'll have your gross for solo cup. Previous videos a while ago I used solo cups when we didn't have these, but people just keep giving us these, so we'll keep taking them. Can't beat them, man. I bought these thinking these things were great, and these things I'll show you here in a second how Kappas wonky they are. But see the root ball system on that. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. You got to make sure. I'll put 2 of these in there. too. And take the tomato plant, put tomato plant in there. A little bit of dirt down on top of that stuff so it's in there. And then now we're gonna get our tomatoes planted. All right, see these things? Look at them. Look at how cheap they are. So, I really don't like those too much. All right. So got these in there. These are all done. Try to break up some of this. A little bit of dirt, clay, and a lot of cow manure. We got a lot of cow manure in this soil that we got. This soil was special ordered. It took them a while to get it to me. This is what they call loam that they do there. And let me tell you, that loam that they do is unbelievable. It is really good stuff. So you kind of got to see the average of how I plant tomato plants. Press down on this, get a little bit more sturdiness to it. And we're going to let these things go. Alright, so we got one here. And we got one here. And we got to go back right about there. Again, you want to measure the plant, which is what I'm doing right now, which will work. Don't forget, take these off. Be very gentle. Don't over manhandle the. You know, when you're out your garden, enjoy it, relax. I pull up a chair, I sit down, I take my time on planting these. I don't rush nothing. I'm not in the mood to rush nothing. I like to just relax. I mean, gardening's supposed to be relaxing. It's not supposed to be a job. It's supposed to be an enjoyment. And I do love planting tomatoes. So I'm going to drop this one down there. That's perfect. We're going to pull these off. Now all these little hairs there down there become roots. You watch how quick these grow. These are going to grow like wildfire. Wildfire flower. But I love to do gardening. It's so relaxing, and you know, sometimes things work out, sometimes things don't. You live, you learn, you know, on the basis of what you're doing. I'll get those all planted in there. Now what I will do is, once a week I'll go through with this, and I'll just loosen up the soil around my tomato plants. Just real light. I just drag it on top like this. Use that. See? Barely. Just to break up the soil. Keep the soil fresh. And then you get some clumps like this. Just break them up. That's cow manure. Now you're probably asking, am I going to water these now? I will not water these today. They're already super moist. On top of them being super moist, they'll be fine. I mean, if it was not as moist, and we just got inch and a half of rain about 6 hours ago, and now it's already sunny, as you can see. But yeah, we've already had rain an inch and a half, and now the soil's nice and damp, and so I don't have to do it. So what I do is I'll plant the tomatoes, and Amy plants the flowers. So I know she has a plan to go around all these with marigolds and some other species that kind of fill in and keep the soil nice and moist. All right, guys, so you got to see how I plant my tomatoes. So and that's how I do it. You do it your way. You do what you do is what I'll say. And I'll do it my way. This is the way I've never had any problems with. We're really excited now. We finally got the beds built. They're finally ready. We can go ahead and start planting. We've planted zucchinis and peppers and jalapenos and poblanos, beans and eggplant and sweet snap peas and bush beans and lettuce and radishes and beets, and there's so much more we're planting in this garden. We got kind of a slow start on our broccoli and our cauliflower and stuff, and it's doing okay. Do I think it'll make it? Nah. That's all right. That's all right. We are going to be doing a video coming up here of some watermelon, and you guys will get to see a lot of these. We'll try to post a lot of them and do them pretty consecutive so you get an eye see of what's going on. So the tomato that we planted today is called an Oxheart tomato. Now these Oxheart tomatoes that we've planted here, like I said, they get to a pound plus of weight. That was a nice honeybee. It just flew past me. I love it. Mother Nature is so great. But it's a Oxheart. It's 99.9% heirloom. So it hasn't been altered in any way. The company that we got it from is right. And, you know, I hope that you all enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and don't forget we got another one coming up. Another video on another style of tomato that we want to plant in our garden. Now, all the tomatoes you want to plant in the garden are tomatoes, things that you like to eat. Don't plant stuff if you're not going to eat them. Well, you can, but it seems kind of useless. I like planting tomatoes I know I'm going to eat. And these Oxfords, we're going to eat them up. They're not only good for making tomato sandwiches, don't get me wrong, but they're also great for making tomato sauce, or not tomato sauce, but tomato paste, or canning whole tomatoes. And I'll tell you why. It's because their seeds in the tomato are a lot less than your average tomato. Like a beefsteak could have a ton of seeds. These are very, very, very light on the seeds. So that means there's a little bit less of the sifting and stuff that you'll have to do for them. But flavor profile wise, they are unbelievable. Well, at that point, guys, I'm going to get back here. I got the rest of this bed to plant of these Oxford tomatoes, or Oxheart tomatoes. And we really appreciate you coming by. God bless you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that like button. And we got more tomatoes coming, and boy, am I excited. I love me some tomatoes. At that point, we'll see you later. Till next time. Bye.